What is going on, guys? It's Chu here, bringing you another review and reaction to Boruto Blue Vortex. Now, this chapter has a lot going on, and so I'm going to be very brief with this. So, before I continue, guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that helps out tremendously. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Especially if we're trying to reach the goals of 100, trying to bring back live streams onto the channel, all that good stuff. Help us out. It would be so meaningful. So, without further ado, though, let's get to it. So, we start this this chapter, with Damien letting go of both Sarada and Sumire. Now, he says that he could have dispose of them without them even noticing. Now, do I think that's true? Possible. Honestly, I can see that happening. But the main thing here is Ada wondering as to why both of them were not affected by the omnipotence. And the conclusion that they kind of arrived to isn't just the fact that they are in love with Boruto, is the fact that, obviously he's an Otsutsuki, but the fact is that she subconsciously wanted to have them both exempted because they wanted to be friends. Now, I want to say there was a very strange moment here because we gotta call back to when Sumire, Ida, and Sarada are all talking about being normal friends. And though it makes Ida happy, she says that if after everything that happens she were to lose to them, that it wouldn't be so bad. And so Sarada chooses to grab Sumire and they all hug each other. Now, it's comforting to think about, but I feel like there's definitely something there with Sarada. Like, she doesn't look happy. Sumire is kind of surprised. And obviously Ada's probably the only one that's truly enjoying it. At least that's my own opinion. One of the things that kind of makes me think that this was not your average hug is that maybe Sarada, by what she says, like, it's her way of showing her resolve and a symbol of her friendship. I feel like this was a hug that is like means a lot more than what we think. But they definitely let it go. But we then kind of go over to what's going on with Koji, Inojin, and Boruto, and they're talking about what's been like happening. We also have the conversation that they still have ongoing with Shikamaru, kind of filling him in on the new enemy that they're having to face, which is Mamushi, and his ability to split up. And the goal is to basically be prepared that if you're going to fight him, you need to make sure you take out both of his eyes. Now, his strength doesn't lose, like, you don't lose his strength when he multiplies. His brain capacity, though, however, does decrease, and it doesn't go back until he has lesser numbers. So the goal is to maybe have 20 or 30 of them at most, and taking him out that way. So it is going to be, I think, a bit of a hassle going against him, especially with his ability. Going up against numbers is never easy. However, the goal is to make sure that it doesn't go that far. But we also have the real reason as to why Inojin is even there to begin with, and that is the fact that he is there to learn a powerful new jutsu in which he can learn, and Koji wants him to learn it in 2 days. One of the things that kind of makes Inojin want to learn it in 1 day is the fact that he hears that something happened to Himari in the future. And obviously he wants this to not happen, neither does Boruto, but Inojin now has a motivation. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful that we see something good out of Inojin. It's been a long time since he's done anything, so I'm really looking forward to it. We also find out that Jura will not fight in Konoha because of the fact that he feels an attachment, or at least feels calm being there. He likes going to the stores and the sweet shops, and he kind of refuses to fight. As far as Mamushi, he will not fight in Konoha, but out of fear of being dealt with by Jura. So I think that's kind of interesting that we now know what's going to be happening with him. Jura actually also, he's cultivating the divine tree. We have a scene where we have both Kawaki and Amado talking to each other, and the dangers that we have Kawaki possibly facing if he tries to get any stronger. And honestly, I love how like Kawaki kind of keeps Amado like from really talking much, because it's like, I'm not here to hear you yap. You're in no position to control. And if you want me to help you with your goal with your daughter, you're gonna do what I need. You're gonna have to bet on me. And so I'm liking this strategy, but I don't know how well it's going to work. I think that in the end, it's gonna probably bite him in the butt. Just my opinion. We also see what's going on with Konohamaru, and he, finds out the truth telepathically, of course, by Shikamaru about what actually happened. And it looks like he's going to be joining the cause with them, and I actually like that because Shikamaru had been kind of teetering around with it, especially now that he's being questioned. So I definitely like that he's kind of in a position to be helpful again. Hopefully we'll see something good. And then towards the end of this chapter, we kind of see the girls again, and we see Sumire leaving, but we have Sarada being wrapped up by Ada, which I guess they're probably still going to be talking. We'll see if we see more of that in a different time. But we see Boruto talking to Sumire about his blade and how he wants her to fix it. I think that's kind of interesting. But we also see Sumire telling him that, don't call me Prez anymore, call me by my name. So she's starting to get a little more comfortable, I would say. But then at the very end of this chapter, we see that Mamushi, it's been a few days, and he's ready to go find Ada. So it's definitely looking to be a good next chapter. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, stay safe, take care of yourselves and others, and I'll catch you later.